Ubisoft has been doing nothing but failing for years now, if not honestly, decades. Assassin's Creed, their biggest franchise by far, has been beaten into the ground by their own horrible decision making. Star Wars Outlaws, a recent disaster that was their biggest, most expensive game yet, and was rumored to go into the 400 million plus range with all its marketing and whatnot, sold almost zero copies. A complete bust. Assassin's Creed Shadows, well, the CEO of Ubisoft says that only costed 116 million to make, so I guess it's a lie. Assassin's Creed Shadows probably was 700 million to make. Ubisoft was desperate, so they're probably not gonna, sit back and just try and make something small. They needed something big, and Assassin's Creed Shadows was not it. Everything Ubisoft has done in the past years has been a disaster. It is truly impressive how they can fail this hard.
Just last week, we found out that Ubisoft was shutting down an Assassin's Creed studio, and now it looks like the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora and Star Wars Outlaws studio is going through.
Avatar Frontiers of Pandora was garbage. The Avatar movie actually improved the sales of that game. And it's hilarious because I'm pretty sure people got paid to say that, and news outlets got paid to say that, because there was a headline about Frontiers of Pandora. And by the way, I covered that game. I talked about it, and my god, was it the disappointment. It was bad on every level. It looked like shit, it played like shit, it was literally made out of doo-doo. It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure outlets got paid to promote it, because a lot of people and a lot of outlets were running the same headline of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, 400% player increase after movie drops. A 400% player increase is literally just a 2K average from, like fucking zero average, okay? It's not a big deal, actually.
Some major shakeups because they are facing major layoffs and it's not looking good for Ubisoft. I have a few different.
That's what I like to hear, baby. The more people get fired in the gaming industry, the happier I am. I am a consumer. I am pro-consumer. I hate all of these people. And don't even be thinking like, oh, well, shouldn't you? Why do you hate them? Because they hate us. They lie about us. They want the worst for us. They would never hesitate to be happy about bad things happening to you. So I'm not gonna hesitate and be happy about bad things happening to them. In fact, I wish these people got blacklisted from the industry. Anyone who has worked on an Ubisoft game in the last 20 years deserves to be blacklisted and work at McDonald's and lose their house. I said it. I mean it. I hate them. And I think it's completely normal. These people, again, they would never turn the other cheek for you. They would cheer on as bad things happen.
Things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live.
Like the video, subscribe. It only takes less than a second, and thank you for everyone who does. It does help out the channel. Thank you.
Streams and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, yes, a lot of companies in this industry are going through major changes. They overhired for several years in a row. They are canceling projects, and that means that they do not need as many employees. It's not even just happening in video games, but video games are being hit extremely hard, even though layoffs were down in 2025 versus 2024. But now it looks like Ubisoft is going through its second round of layoffs for 2026, just
Nice.
2 weeks into the new year. So it says a voluntary career transition.
I absolutely love when a new year starts with a bang. Oh, by the way, yes, remember this voluntary career transition program? Which, I mean, I remember when we read this the first time. This was an email sent out by HR to Ubisoft, by the way, if you don't remember it. And so whoever came up with voluntary career transitioning program needs a raise, okay? That person needs a raise, okay? Someone at HR did their job at 120%, because that just means fired. That just means fired. It's so good. It's so hilarious. It just means fired.
Program at Ubisoft's massive studio, announced in October 2025, apparently wasn't enough to get the job done, and so now Ubisoft is going back to the old-fashioned
By
way
the
of
way,
doing
why voluntary? Why voluntary? Because then you don't have to pay out the bonuses and stuff. Because people are willingly leaving.
things by simply laying people off. Earlier today, we informed all employees in our Swedish studios, Massive Entertainment in Ubisoft Stockholm, about a proposed organizational restructure that may affect approximately 55 roles across these two locations. This restructure
Based
follows
good
the
more.
completion of the voluntary leave program launched during the fall of 2025, a finalized long term roadmap, and a completed staffing and appointment process, which together have provided clear visibility into the structure and capacity required to support the two studios' work and sustainability over time. Now, to me, this is just PR speak. They want to lay people off, they want to let people go. And so
Good.
they tried
Good.
this voluntary career transition program to make it seem like a softer blow, but that didn't work. So now they have to get rid of even more people. And Ubisoft is struggling right now. They recently faced the largest hack in the history of the video game industry, if all of
Yep.
the rumors and reports are correct. And by the way, they were hacked 3 times, which is insane. You have the multiple games releasing and being financial failures. Skull and Bones was a quadruple A fail.
The first quadruple A. Okay. Ubisoft once said, gamers need to get accustomed to the idea of not owning games. Ubisoft needs to get accustomed to not existing.
They're even calling Assassin's Creed Shadows a quadruple A game now, and of course, that
Lamo.
didn't seem to meet its goals. They haven't exactly said what they were. It's not like we'll ever fully know, but they talked about player counts and not actual sales. But you have Star Wars Outlaws, which is Massive Entertainment, who's now going through these layoffs that underperformed, and they had put the most money they ever had towards its marketing budget. And then X Defiant was supposed to be the Call of Duty killer, and well, the only thing that died
X-Defiant. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I did not cover that one. It was trash though.
was X Defiant. Though at the end of the day, am I shocked to hear that this is happening?
Am I honestly shocked that someone else proclaimed that they are gonna create a Call of Duty killer after Sony spent 400 million on not Valorant but Concord? No, honestly, I am not. It seems like the best and easiest way to make fast money in the games industry is sell triple A slop companies the next Call of Duty killer for 400 million or 100 million or plus, and just see them buy it and then just bust.
No, it's not just about the size of a team or the amount of money you put towards a game. It's about the passion, it's about the drive, it's about the focus within these studios. If you have hundreds of people working on tons of different little things, then nothing ever feels fleshed out. Then all of the systems feel dull, mediocre, the world doesn't feel alive. And when you hire a bunch of juniors and you're not hiring back veteran developers, yeah, it just turns out to be a string of mediocre games, and Ubisoft is known for their mediocrity. At this point, that's why they're handing off series like Assassin's Creed to their joint venture with Tencent. The Vantage Studios deal is massive, and we really haven't heard anything about it. But yeah, I mean, now Massive Entertainment, who is the developer of the Division games, as well as Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, is going through these layoffs. And Ubisoft Stockholm is currently working on an unannounced game. And Ubisoft said the long term direction for both studios will not be impacted by the layoffs. So we don't know exactly how many employees they have in total at these two studios. Either way, though, the Division is, I don't want to necessarily say dead, it's just in a downtime right now. Avatar
The
for
Division is dead.
Tears of Pandora has been a nightmare since day one. They put a lot of money into that game and it didn't do anything. I know with Fire and Ash's release, it quadrupled in player counts, but it went up to like
Bro,
13,000 players, which
bro.
it still isn't very good. And then Star Wars Outlaws was a game that underperformed. It is a game that a lot of people were unimpressed.
Star Wars Outlaws, I think, has 2 expansions at this point that literally no one has played. No, the Star Wars Outlaws is so dead, I'm not even making videos on it, okay? Listen, I'm not even talking about it.
With. It was buggy and broken at release. They have released DLC, but that DLC has failed to bring people back to the game, and overall their experiences are forgettable. And I'm not sad that Ubisoft is facing all
No, Ubisoft's actions are not forgettable. Their games are garbage, though, okay? I don't forget anything Ubisoft does because it's hilarious, okay? Seeing someone perform the same action over and over again and expecting a different result truly is some form of madness.
this backlash and really facing all of these problems because for years now they have ignored our requests, they have ignored their customers, and well, they are just facing the consequences of their own actions at this point. Like I said though, Ubisoft had just shut down an Assassin's Creed Rebellion developer, the Halifax studio, just weeks after it unionized. Ubisoft shut it down
Based.
after 61 of the 71 workers voted to unionize. Now, there are people that believe it is because of the unionization. I don't necessarily know if I fully
It is. It is. I literally know giant companies that are making hundreds of millions that literally are not gonna work in countries that unionize.
believe that because they clearly are going through a lot of layoffs right now. I have never really heard anything positive about Assassin's Creed Rebellion, which is a mobile game, and so it seems like they were just paying a
Mobile?
bunch of people a bunch of money to do a bunch of nothing. It says, though, this comes 3 weeks after the 61 employees voted to unionize with the Game and Media Workers Guild of Canada, which is itself part of the CWA, or Communications Workers of America and Canada. It says that Ubisoft has claimed that the closure is unrelated to the union and is instead a part of its larger restructuring and cost-saving efforts. Now, I don't believe anything Ubisoft says. Maybe they saw them unionizing and went, yeah, we need to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Either way, though, these are some major issues and also major changes at this company.
I love the fact that those people unionized to not get fired. And then they got fired.
Gamers are talking about this on social media, saying not every position in a gaming studio has the same importance. It is bad for the employee indeed, however, the choices between saving the company and most of the jobs or slimming down the company. Damn, that's awful. There are some people who are saying, oh my gosh, hope these talented devs get picked up quickly by a better studio. These developers clearly
They all can go and work at Activision at this point.
Are not talented because they're not making games that people want, or else Ubisoft would be making enough money to keep them around and they would be viewed as valuable employees. None of the games they've been making have been positive. The last Division game came and went. You have Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which had awful player counts and it wasn't a great experience overall, very mid-game. And then Star Wars Outlaws was mediocre as hell and it was buggy and broken at release. And I've heard now that with Outlaws they fixed it up, but I still can't believe that they felt that it was acceptable to release it in the state that they did. Shit games that flopped, so no surprise here. In the great words of the great Roach King himself, welcome home. Avatar sucked and they've been living off the Division 2 for over 6 years. The Avatar and Division 2s were both flops, and actually, all of these games were flops. I know this isn't a brand new article, but it lays out the facts. Ubisoft admits Star Wars Outlaws underperformed, despite
Oh yeah, I forgot that this actually happened, that they legitimately even admitted that the Star Wars was bad.
solid ratings and user scores across the first party and Epic stores that reflect an immersive and authentic Star Wars universe. Star Wars Outlaws initial sales proved softer than expected, Ubisoft said. In response to player feedback, Ubisoft's development teams are currently fully mobilized to swiftly implement a series of updates to polish and improve the player experience in order to engage a larger audience during the holiday season to position Star Wars Outlaws as a strong long-term performer. And
Strong long-term performer is a lie. Nothing's gonna save it. No one cares about it. Anyway, that was very dark 10 out of 10. Bye.